Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing these Raxium projector headlights available for all non-Shelby 05 to 09 Mustangs. Now, you should be checking out these lights if you look to really modernize the headlight experience on your early S197, adding both projectors and daytime running lights to freshen up that front end. So when it comes to features, I would say the biggest will be the massive departure from the stock lights in regards to both appearance and performance. Now, in regards to performance, these options from Raxium will convert your dated reflector style halogens to a halogen projector. Now, the projector itself will lend to a slightly brighter, more focused beam of light that should help improve your nighttime visibility. Now, aside from that, guys, we do have to admit the switch to a projector is going to look pretty cool in the process, especially because these particular options do feature a unique octagon-shaped projector with some added detail around that. Now, that's not all, guys. The Raxiums here also incorporate, I would kind of consider, an S550-esque set of daytime running lights in the insides here, kind of that gill thing going on. These will illuminate in a bright white glow every time your parking lights or your headlights have been fired up, and will certainly contribute to a totally different front end appearance after the install. Now, your construction for the Raxiums here will be pretty standard in the land of aftermarket headlights, albeit one that's going to be very solid overall. This does include the black ABS plastic housings. This particular set is topped off with a crystal clear polycarbonate lens, and the entire package has been sealed to prevent any dirt or moisture from entering the housings themselves. Now, the lights have been given both the DOT and SAE stamp of approval. That's going to make these legal for use in all 50 states, and they are fully adjustable, by the way, just to allow you to aim everything properly. Now, finally, guys, the headlights do include brand new bulbs, but again, they are halogen. So if you wanted to upgrade to an LED, that is possible here with the Raxiums. You would just have to grab those bulbs separately. Price point for the Raxium projectors will land in the high $300 mark, which does put these right in line with other projector style options in the category available for your 05 to 09 Mustang. As always, guys, feel free to check out the rest of our selection before pulling the trigger. Installation, according to the site, is going to get a pretty solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter due to the combination that the bumper will need to come off in order to access some bolts, and there will be some minor wiring needed to get those DRLs fired up. Now, to give you a better idea of just how things will go down in the garage or driveway, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are a power driver or a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, a 10mm socket, a 5.5mm socket, a trim removal tool, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a wire stripper and crimper, and you'll also need to source some sort of wire connectors, either Scotch locks or a T-tap and spade bit. Hi everyone, today we're installing a set of headlights on our Mustang, but before we do that, let's watch a short video on how to uninstall the stock headlights.
So for this install, we're going to have to pop off our upper radiator cover and our front bumper. It's a pretty simple process, and I'm going to walk you through it, so let's get started. I'm going to start by using my clip panel tool to remove the 6 push pins that hold the upper rad cover in. Then I'll pull the pins out and pull the rad cover off. Next, I'm going to take a 10mm socket on my ratchet and remove the 2 bolts on either side of the front bumper at the top. Next, I'm going to use a Phillips head to remove the 3 screws in the inner wheel well liner to gain access to the 2 nuts that are behind the wheel well liner, and I'm going to do this on both sides. With my wheel liner pulled back out of the way, I have access to the 2 10mm nuts here on the inside of the bumper. So I'm going to take my 10mm socket on my ratchet and remove those. And now I can do the same exact thing on the other side. So we're just about ready to pull our front bumper off, but before we can do this, there's still a couple screws on the bottom, and there are some lights on either side of the bumper that need to be removed. There's 2 light sockets on either corner. I'm just gonna twist them out and remove them from the bumper, and then I can pull my bumper off. And now I'll just do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm just gonna use a 5.5mm socket and remove the 4 screws at the bottom of the bumper. So now I'm ready to pull my bumper away from my vehicle. While I do so, I'm going to unhook my 2 fog lights as I'm pulling everything out. Next, I'm just going to use my 10mm socket again to remove the 3 bolts that hold the headlight into place, and then I will disconnect the headlight connector from the back. There's 1 at the top and there's 2 at the bottom.
Now we go ahead and plug in our new light, just exactly where the old one was connected to. And you'll also notice that we've got 2 extra wires here. These 2 extra wires are to run the new DRLs built into the light here. Now we're gonna have to tap into our parking light harness with these 2 wires, and we'll show you how to do that in a moment, right after we get this light installed. We'll go ahead and plug it in using the original harness, and then install the light using the original hardware. And we'll tighten it down using our 10mm socket. All right, now we can go ahead and hook up our DRLs to our parking lights connector. Now the parking light connector is just this little black connector here. And you see there's got 2 wires. One is a brown wire, one is a black wire. The brown wire is going to be your power wire. The black wire is going to be your ground. And on the light, you'll see we have a green and a black. So we'll hook up the black to the black and the green to the brown. Now the kit comes with these Scotchlocks connectors, and they're very simple to use. Basically what you would do is put the side that's clear all the way through to the brown wire, like so. And then you would take the green wire and slide it into the end. Like so. Use a pair of pliers, crimp this down onto both of them, and then close it up on the outside. Now ours has already been modified before. Now since our lights have already been modified and it already has a connector, a spade adapter on it, we're just going to go ahead and use that format and put a spade adapter on the end of the wires for the lights. To do that, we're just going to strip about 1/2 inch of the wire off of the end. Now once you've got the end of the wire stripped off, just go ahead and insert it into your spade connector. Use your crimping tool and just crimp it down, make sure it's secure. And once you've got your bits on, go ahead and plug them into your adapters, making sure, of course, that the black one goes to the black wire and the green one goes to the brown wire. Now, on the other side, the wires are going to be black and a red and white wire. So just keep that in mind, that black always goes to black and the green will go to the red and white. Now that we've got the passenger side connected, you go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now that you've got your lights installed and wired up, now would be a perfect time to go ahead and test those and make sure that everything works the way they should before you install your bumper. We've already tested ours, so we know they're good. Now we can go ahead and install the bumper, making sure, of course, you connect your fog lights before you actually set it in place. So like I said, we'll go ahead and connect our fog lights first. Then we can set our bumper in place. And we'll secure it with our original hardware and tighten it with our 10mm socket. Now it's really difficult to get in behind here with the camera so you can see what we're doing because we're not up on a lift. But right now, what you want to do is go ahead and reconnect your turn signal lights and your parking lights that you just modified. Now you can go ahead and reattach your bumper to the two studs on your fender and using the original hardware. All right, once you've got the two nuts started, you can go ahead and tighten them down using your 10mm socket. Now we'll tuck in our fender liner here and reattach that using the original hardware as well. We'll go ahead and get our screws started. And we'll tighten them down using our number 2 Phillips screwdriver. All right, now that we've got the passenger side done, you can go ahead and repeat that same process for the other side. Now again, because we don't have our car up on a lift, it's pretty hard to get the camera down in there to show you this, but now you can go ahead and reinstall the 3 screws for the belly pan that you took out earlier. And we'll secure it using our 5.5mm socket. And finally, we go ahead and install our radiator cover and secure it with the original push pins that we pulled out earlier. And that wraps up our review and install of the Raxium projector headlights with the black housing and the clear lens for the 05 to 09 Mustang with factory halogen headlights, excluding the GT500. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.